Big business here. I'm a therapist, counselor for 50 years. I have people come, and women particularly, 90% of the people who go to therapists, counselors, are women. Why? Because if you can just talk to somebody that you're not trying to change, your estrogen levels will go up, your stress levels will go down, and you'll be happier. It's as simple as that. But what women do is they talk to their husbands about their complaints. And there's, it's common sense. If you're stepping on my foot, I have to let you know, hey, that hurts. Okay. So how do you communicate that? And so what you do is you learn how to communicate your feelings in a way where a man will listen. And you have to train him. This is new skills. It's the same thing with our children, by the way. I know we're concerned about parenting. Most old-fashioned parenting, when children get upset or they cry or they get angry or they feel bad, we say, no, you should feel good. You should not complain. You should be happy. Why you want that? You shouldn't be controlling like this, or throwing a tantrum. That's old-fashioned, and that causes people to push down their emotions. And so they become suppressed. They become repressed. And for little boys, it keeps them from growing up with compassion. For little girls, it causes them to have more stress and not trust men. So women feel like, I can't trust men. They don't listen. I have to hold it inside. And for women, when a girl is upset and a boy from 2 years old to 13 years old, he has the same estrogen levels as a little girl. So they need to express their feelings just like little girls. And if we look in a woman's brain, if she experiences moderate stress, just the normal stress of life, I'm rushing here, I'm going here, I forgot that, this person was rude, I still haven't paid that bill, I promised to do this for this person, all the little stresses of life. The little stresses produce a hormone called adrenaline. Okay, now adrenaline is released in women if they can talk about their feelings to somebody that they're not trying to change. That's why therapy can be so helpful. For men, what releases adrenaline is anything that produces testosterone, discipline, sacrifice, doing difficult things. If you want to produce adrenaline, use your muscles. Every week I go to the gym and do uncomfortable weightlifting. I have to have a trainer, okay? I'm a lazy guy. I have to work. So I won't do those. I'll do my weights at home, and then when it gets a little uncomfortable, I stop. But my trainer keeps having me do it until it becomes uncomfortable. And then he says, I know you can do it, John. Give me 5 more. And so I give 5 more. But that's how you grow your muscle mass. That's how you grow testosterone. That's how you grow your masculine energy. And what is masculine energy? It's Buddha energy. It's the godly man. It's detached and compassionate. It's unmoved. It's peaceful. It's steady. It's grounded like a tree with deep roots, and the wind blows and the tree just moves a little bit, as opposed to gets all upset. But men today don't have role models of what it means to be a man, because our hormones are so out of balance. Because as soon as our culture supports women in being independent, now women are more on their male side, they don't need men as much. And if a man doesn't feel needed, then we're out of work. So it used to be in my family, my mother and father, very traditional. My father had a good job. My mother had 7 children. She was pregnant, breastfeeding, taking care of all of us. She was very happy because my father made enough money to live in a nice neighborhood and hire somebody to help take care of the kids. And there was a country club down the street with swimming pool, tennis courts, supervision. She could send the boys off there if she wanted. And if we got out of control, she'd say the other job my dad had, only 3 jobs. And they had a great marriage. He had a good job to provide the financial security, a nice home, and support for the wife to get what she needed. Money, 1. 2, what was 2? Is he was the enforcer. Now in those days in Texas, you'd spank your kids if they were upsetting you, but you didn't just spank them. In Texas, you pull out your belt. You only had to have it 1 time, that was it. And then mom would say, if you don't listen to me, I'm telling your father, and you get the belt. So, okay, I'll listen. So that was punishment. So he had the 1 job. He was like the policeman who enforced everything. 2, he made money. And 3, he never got angry at my mother. That was like in his upbringing, you don't get angry at women. And of course, the thought of hitting a woman would be unthinkable. See, these are old-fashioned values that are really worked. Don't be angry, because as soon as a man is angry, that puts a woman into defensiveness. And now she's no longer feminine. She has to protect herself. You're supposed to be her protector. So it's not that you can't be angry, because we do get angry. I mean, we're all human. We get upset about things. But the wisdom here is for men to know is that when you're angry and you talk, if you talk, okay, that's why you have to learn to stop talking. That's the one thing, if any man can learn anything from today. If you're angry with your children, stop talking. Don't talk. Time out. Time out. And what you can do is you can put your children in a timeout as well. You just say, okay, you know, I need you to cooperate. That's a magic phrase you should always say to your children. Say to them, I want you to listen to me. Bad communication skill. Because they are hearing you. They hear you. They're just disobeying you. So what you want to do is you say, I want you to cooperate. We're a family and I want you to cooperate. And I know, and then you have to be like a mind reader. You have to tell them what they want and what they're feeling and that you can't have it. So I'll give you an example of that. I'm driving along and my children, you know, I'm famous, successful, but they're not spoiled. They're amazing kids today because of the way I raised them. Also, I was very humble in our lifestyle as well. You know, if they see me getting everything I want whenever I want it, they feel like, why can't I get everything I want whenever I want it? That spoils them. Now, once I grew up, they all laugh because now I get to have everything I want whenever I want it. But when I was growing up, I was much more humble in the whole thing because, you know, we all have to participate. We all have to do things. And so here I am, we're having, in America, in those days, like when I was growing up, you'd have desserts. Gulab jamun would only be like once a week. You don't get it 3 times a day. Okay, today kids are addicted to sugar. Another mistake we make, let them get too much sugar. So, but anyway, so my daughter would occasionally get ice cream. We do it on special occasions. We don't do it all the time, but she really liked it. I really like it. So we were driving along the street one day. I'll give you an example of how to listen to your children. Because if you learn how to listen to your children, they will listen to you. A simple cliche. If you learn how to listen to your children, doesn't mean obey your children, but hear your children, they will hear you. And of course, parents say, my children don't talk with me. There's nothing, because you never hear them. You just make them wrong. You control them too much. You make them wrong. You criticize them. You correct them. Too much of that is not good. But you need more encouragement, more appreciation, more opportunities to be successful, less negative talk, more positive talk. And that goes a long way. So we're driving along and she wants ice cream. She sees the kids. It's a hot day. All these kids are having ice cream. But we had it a few days ago, so I'm not going to give her ice cream. She says, Daddy, let's stop and get ice cream. I said, no, we're not going to have ice cream today. We only have ice cream on special occasions. But why? But why? I said, because it's not good to eat ice cream all the time. You know, we have to have our vegetables and other things. But I don't like that. I want ice cream. Those kids have ice cream. I want ice cream. So now you get a little tantrum. That's okay. Kids do that. How many people go through their life like Buddha and they never get upset? We just hold it inside. They express it if you make it safe for them. And you want to make it safe for them, but they can't control things. So I said, they need to feel heard and seen. That's it. So I said to her, oh, sweetie, I know you want that ice cream and it must be very upsetting to you that you can't have it. Yes, it's very upsetting to me. I said, probably makes you angry. Yes, I'm angry about that. Why do they get it and I don't? I said, I understand. You really want it and ice cream tastes good. I like ice cream too. And then for a moment, she becomes very calm. Now, why does she become calm? Because she now goes, oh, he understands me. And then I said, but you're still not getting ice cream. You see, the real need she has at that time of stress is to be heard, not the ice cream. I want the ice cream, but the need is to be heard. Whenever there's turbulent emotions in children, the need is to be heard and seen. Otherwise, they feel like you don't hear me, you don't get it. Remember the other day you wanted me to have ice cream. Why don't you want me to have ice cream now? So they don't have a complex brain like adults. They're just like, oh, you hear me. And then I said, well, we're not having ice cream. Oh, why do I not get ice cream? Now she starts to cry, but it's not fair. They get ice cream, I don't get ice cream. And then I listen a little bit. This is like 1 minute, 2 minutes, that's all. And I said, understand, you're so sad because they're getting ice cream and you're not. And she goes, yes, that's right. It doesn't fair. I know it seems like it's not fair, but they don't get ice cream every day. And if they did, they'd be sick. I'm taking care of you. We don't eat ice cream every day because it's not good for us. But why is it not good for us? I'll never get ice cream again. And I said, yes, you'll have ice cream again. We always have ice cream, but just not every day. And then she said, no, 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 I'll never get ice cream. I'll never get ice cream. And then I say, oh, sweetie, I know you're scared. You're afraid you're never going to get ice cream again, aren't you? She goes, yes, yes, I'm afraid. See, they don't know they're angry. They just are angry. They don't know they're sad. They just are sad. They don't know they're afraid, but they are afraid. And by helping to identify what's going on, and they don't know, they're just that. Just like if I was to talk to a man who was angry, and I said to him, I know you're angry, but you're also afraid. He's going to go, I'm not afraid. I'm strong. I'm tough. I'm not afraid of you at all. And I go, well, if you weren't afraid, you wouldn't be angry. You can't be angry without being afraid. You can't be afraid without having some pain that's going to happen over and over and be forever. You see, these emotions have layers to them. As adults, we're very much unaware of that. But our children can teach us better if just a little guidance. And I just gave you the guidance. Whenever your child is upset, you want to identify why they didn't get what they want, what they're not getting, and say, I know you're angry about that or frustrated about that. And you can teach that in English. It's so cute with my little 4-year-old. I'm frustrated about that, the big word, but they learn, what it's called emotional intelligence, emotional literacy. If we're not going to use the belt to control our children, and we're going to go to a higher level of consciousness, what we have to do is learn how to identify, give our children emotional literacy. Because you see, if a child, and what happened in that example is then she said, well, I'm never going to get ice cream again. I said, sweetie, I know you're afraid you're never going to get ice cream again, but I'm your daddy. And I promise next Sunday, we're going to have ice cream because we're going to go visit our relatives and we're going to see them. We're going to celebrate and you'll have all the ice cream you want. It will be fine. And she says, you promise? I say, yes, I promise. And then she was fine. She didn't have to have the ice cream to feel better. She got to feel heard. Now, wouldn't that be great if every time you as an adult, you were upset about something and you thought, until I have that thing, I can't be happy? That's depending on the outer world to change before we can be happy, as opposed to if I'm not getting what I want in the outer world and I'm not happy, I go, oh, you know what? I can be happy by looking at my emotions, identifying them and letting them go. And this is a skill that children can learn as children, and they won't control. They don't have these big tantrums, and they listen to you because you listen to them. But when they listen to you, they obey you. And another aspect of it is sometimes they don't. Nothing's ever going to be perfect all the time. And your tendency, well, that didn't work, so let me pull out the belt, or let me punish them, and let me be tough and scare them. Okay, well, hold on here for a moment. There's other skills as well that I talk about in my book, Children Are From Heaven. And one of those skills is the command voice. Once you've heard a child's point of view, now you say, now I want you to do what I want you to do. You can use the phrase, I hear what you're saying and I take it in, but that's not what we're going to do. What I want you to do. You just basically, what I want, negotiation is over, or I hear what you said. Now I want you to do this. And you control them. You are the parent. If they feel they can control you, their self-esteem crashes. That's very important because they know they're just children. And if they feel that they have power over you, then suddenly nobody has power over them. You see, their security is they know you're bigger than them. You'll protect them. You'll guide them. You'll lead them. They don't know anything. You're the one who knows it all. But power feels good. So they feel like they want that power. And so they defy you to know what the limits are. But they'll keep pushing. If you just keep saying, yes, yes, it's okay, they'll just keep going further and further out to crazy land where they feel like they get everything they want whenever they want it. Setting limits teaches our children, if they feel heard, you set a limit, they learn, I'm not happy, but guess what? Because you heard me, I feel good again, even though I didn't get what I want. That gives a child the ability to have delayed gratification. Now, a study at Stanford, very famous study, it's well-versed in everything, shows that the number one contributing factor to your child's success in life is their ability to experience delayed gratification. It's a very famous story. It's called the marshmallow study, and you can look it up. I'm not going to take time to explain it, but basically what they found is some children, you could say, don't eat this food until I come back, and then you'll get more marshmallows. And some children just couldn't do it. Leave a child in front of a marshmallow, they've got to eat it. And the ones that could wait until you came back and they got double, those are the ones later in life, and they traced them later in life, they were going to be more successful in their relationships, in their life, and their self-esteem, and their abundance, because they learned this very important skill. They had the ability to postpone gratification. They weren't like, I have to have it now, I have to have it now, I have to have it now. And if I don't have it now, I'm unhappy. As opposed to, I can have it in the future and be happy now. I don't have to have it all now. Because when you demand everything right now, you're like a movie star who becomes, I'm the center of the world and I get whatever I want. And if you don't give me what I want, I throw a tantrum. And that's why movie stars will have divorces and all these problems. And in America, they have drug addicts. You're not even a famous person unless you've been through rehab, which means you were addicted to a drug and now you're giving it up. Because if you get a lot of attention and a lot of happiness, it's good. It brings out your skills better because you have encouragement, but it also brings up your childlike feelings because you're not afraid of anybody. You're so important that you can do whatever you want. And now you're like a little spoiled child. So let's avoid that. You know, I'm rich and famous and all that, but because I understand how to process emotions, I've been able to stay grounded and have a loving, happy family and a happy wife and all of that. It's very important that we have this emotional intelligence. And gender intelligence is also understanding the differences between men and women is so critical that if you have a woman who's upset and a man who gets upset in response, you're out of balance. If a woman's upset with him, one of the things she can do to try to create balance, and this is a magic $1 million phrase, this is for moms, wives, you say to your husband if you're upset with him because he stepped on your foot, you got to say, ouch, he stepped on your plants. Don't do that. He ate the last milk in the refrigerator. Hey, you got to think about me. I didn't get any. So she's got to communicate her discontent, but do it in a very precise way. You can do it and not fail in your relationship if you hold it in the right perspective with the right intention. My intention isn't to punish you or change you or make you feel bad. I just want to inform you. So how do you do that? You're aware. My intention is not to persuade you because you already love me. Why should I have to persuade you? I just need to inform you. It's very, very important. Trying to change is complaining, pushes testosterone down. Informing can actually build testosterone up if you do it in a certain way. So let's say you're upset with him. And for 10 times, he keeps drinking the last orange juice in the refrigerator. Yeah. When are you going to leave something for me? You're so selfish. That's what you feel inside. Well, you just pushed him down. He's not going to hear that. So how do you do it? You practice communication skills. You say, now this is not a big deal. And I just want to tell you how I feel when you take the last bottle of milk or whatever it is, or when you step on my plants, or when you leave your socks in the living room, or when you forget to call me. You see, in marriage, it's the little things that create annoyance and irritation that escalate into arguments and fights. I've been doing this 50 years. There's no couples, they create problems that are unsolvable because long before that, it was all these little things where she feels neglected and he doesn't feel appreciated. Let me emphasize that again. She feels neglected and he doesn't feel appreciated. Now, women will go around saying, oh, I don't feel appreciated. And I go, yes, you don't feel appreciated only because you feel neglected. Because when women want to get divorced or when they're very unhappy in their marriages, they say the same thing for 50 years. What is that? They say, I give and give and give. I do so much for you and you don't give to me. You see, they're keeping score all the time. I do this for you, I do this for you, and you're not doing for me. They have no appreciation in their heart. Their heart is closed and they have resentment and they feel justified in it. They say to me, I resent the fact that he didn't do this and this and this and this. And I say, are you part of this problem? No, I do all these good things. I do this and this and this. And I said, yeah, but what if more important to a man than you doing good things is that he feels that he's doing good things for you and that you appreciate him? Because it's when men feel appreciated for what they do, their testosterone goes up. When you do things for men, we just become more lazy. And of course, you like to do things for us. We like for you to do things for us. But if you do more for us than we do for you, you're making me lazier. You're lowering my stress levels. And then I become lazy. Then you have more reasons to complain. And then you get addicted to complaining. And when you're complaining, you can't appreciate. So his energy goes down and you're addicted to feeling negative. Your testosterone's going up all the time instead of being happy. That's the best gift you can give to a man. Stop doing stuff for him. Be happy and find all the different ways to be happy. I'll talk about a few of them. And the way you do it is by doing things that are not dependent on your husband, that you love to do, that you get to do. And once you're addicted to complaining, your mindset takes over. Basically, you just can't relax. You can't be happy. Your mind is flooding with complaints and criticism. And let's dissect that so you can change it. There's this little voice inside of you that says, I have to do this. I have to do this. I don't want to do this. I have to do that. Stop, stop, stop.